Okay, welcome to Tribal Council, new Yuan tribe. Unfortunately, Russian roulette did not work in the favor of U5. On the new Yuan tribe tonight, with us is Red, Ashley,
Hey guys.
Beth, Joshy,
Come on, tribal. Oh, good.
and Michael.
Hi, guys.
With that, Yuan entered Russian roulette as a five-sum, and you leave Russian roulette as a five-sum for another 10-20 minutes. With that being said, guys, you know the drill. We start Tribal Council off with a question and answer ceremony. Afterward, everybody will vote. All right, let's start off tonight with Beth. How are you, Beth?
Hey. Doing good.
So, tell me a little bit about Old Josan. All right, let's rewind a little bit. Old Josan, last episode, when Russian Roulette Week actually started. What happened? How was the aftermath? Just explain a little bit for me from your perspective.
It was insane. Especially we had a division between the tribe with people wanting to vote out Simon and people wanting to vote out Demonica. And we got to tribal, and then the roulette wheel was announced, and that we had like votes for each of them, and then one vote for Shannon. And people were like, "Oh, it's not going to be Shannon." And then the wheel was spun, and it was Shannon, and she had to leave, and it was really sad. But then people blew up, and it got kind of crazy, and people got mad at me and other people, and yeah.
So, are you happy that this switch occurred after what you just went through in terms of, Tribal Council, Russian Roulette, probably the biggest explosion of the game thus far? So, are you happy with how things shook out?
Yeah, because I'm away from the people that were kind of like getting really mad at me. So I think it's a good thing to be separated from them and to meet new people too.
So you're happy being on remaining tribe mates with Josh and Michael, and you're happy that you've met Ashley and Red.
Yeah.
How would you have felt if you were on a tribe with Demonica?
I probably would have cried, honestly, because Demonica hates me.
Spin that fucking wheel.
Ashley.
Hello.
How does it feel hearing someone from, well, now your tribe mate, but somebody from the opposing tribe talking about how much drama there was and how happy they are to not be on that tribe anymore and to be away from like particular people?
It's weird because I don't feel like we had that really on Yuan. We were more like a unit, but then we had separate things that, like, we had to vote out someone when we had to make a vote. But there wasn't that much drama on our tribe. So hearing that they had so much drama, it's not what we've been dealing with, really.
So it sounds like a different game than what you've been experiencing.
Mm-hmm.
So
even the last vote with Cece, there wasn't that much drama.
Yeah, with that being said, you said, there's less drama. We were a 5, getting along. Now, switch happens. Beth's grateful, in a sense. How do you feel?
I feel very mixed because I don't know where I stand with them, and I don't know. It makes it a different experience for sure. Not having the 5, but still knowing, like, I can make friends with them as well.
What are you basing your vote on tonight? You've only been on this tribe for half a day. You know that there was a tribe switch coming. You knew that you had the potential and the possibility of no longer being Yuan. But how do you base your vote on just this random formation and then a couple of hours to talk and figure out, hey, which one of us is leaving?
I'm basing my vote off of impressions I've had and also how people have treated me over the past day or not even a day, a couple hours of messaging and then messaging back type things and how conversations went.
Do old tribal lines, do you think that they will play a part in this vote?
I don't know. It's dicey because if it does, then it looks like either Red or I are going. So I'm hoping, but I still don't know. It's up in the air.
So if old tribal lines still play a part, it could be dicey for either you or Red. There are 3 old black buffs here, 2 old orange buffs here, not taking into consideration because then there's a whole new game when we consider the king. But let's consider the castaways. What have you done to ensure that, hey, either let me shake up these old tribal lines, because if not, then me and Red are screwed. So it's either what have you done to shake up the tribal lines, or you might have been, hey, I needed to sell Red up the river. Like, what have you done to ensure, hey, if old tribal lines stay the same or they're not, just tell me. Sorry, I'm speaking out my ass right now.
I've tried to talk to different people, and whether that was successful or not really very much. But I tried, and I didn't get down to selling Red down the river yet. That probably would have been if we had a 24-hour. Sorry, Red. I didn't get that far yet in my day.
Heard.
Give it a couple more hours.
I wish you the best of luck tonight, Ashley. Good luck.
Thank you.
Joshy.
Hey, what's up?
So we kind of touched on this a little bit earlier already, but the last tribal council of the game, which you luckily attended, was dramatic, to say the least.
Well, because of that demon Monica, get it? Demon Monica. It's Monica, but like a little demon ahead of it, Demon. Okay, my cat is worshiping the demon Monica over there right now. She's already screaming.
Doing a demon Monica dance. So you're kind of touching on it right now.
Spin that fucking wheel, like legit.
You're sort of touching on it right now without really even saying much by just impersonating / quoting. But how has the game changed for you in this Russian roulette hell episode?
Oh, I'm living. I'm so happy. Like, I was not happy on my old tribe. There was so much drama. It was all stirred by the same 2 people, and neither of them are on this tribe. It was a nightmare. And honestly, it's fun to see some new, fresh faces and get to know new people. And, like, our old tribe was a hot mess from day one. And it's just happy to have something different, or there's just no drama and everyone's really chilling, really cool. I'm sorry, I'm still sick.
No, you're fine. So that's your impression and immediate reaction of this new Yuan tribe. I mentioned it earlier. You guys haven't even been given the opportunity to work together in a challenge to really assess who's strong, who's weak, who's reliable, who buckles under pressure, who can't stop talking when we need them to not. So you haven't really been able to assess anything. How the do you make a decision tonight?
Is that question for me?
Yeah, that's for you, Mr. Joshy.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Sandy. You know what? Unfortunately, it's hard, but I just have to go with my gut and vote for the person that I've least connected with of the group. That's really what I have to go for. I like everybody. Everyone's so cool. So it's going to be a hard decision. I could go. Anyone could go. You never can feel too confident in this game.
With that being said, the person you least connected with, now I'm going to touch on something we've touched on already. This will be recurring themes, these things that I keep on touching on. People you've connected with the least. So we've already mentioned how little time as a tribe you guys have gotten to know each other. Can I assume that one of the people you've gotten to know the least were not from your original Joseon tribe, are they?
Yes, one of the ones I've gotten to know the least is not from my original tribe. I would say that, but I'm also, anything could happen. He's voting me. I don't know what's going on. I could change my vote. I have no idea. I'm all over the place. The thing about me is I'm always up for whatever. Yeah. Like, I'm not the person who is just like, this is it. I don't care. We're not going back. I'm always up for listening to the other side as well and hearing them out. So,
Michael, coming from Joseon, you guys are 3. Does it make you a little bit uncomfortable hearing, somebody who did wear a similar black buff like you, an easy assumption could be, a sense of tribal pride. But does it concern you at all that you hear Joshi say, hey, I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm all over the place. Does it concern you at all hearing him say that?
Being that we're in this situation, I think you have to listen to all sides and aspects of it because, like you said, pop-ups can come at any time. So we really can't predict in the future. So you have to stay in that moment. So I think at this point where there's only 5 of us on a tribe and we want to, stay unified, you have to think of all aspects.
You mentioned a good point. You got to keep your options open to an extent. You got to talk to all people. Do you think you've done that in this situation? New tribe, tribal council approaching. Do you think that you've communicated with enough people?
Again, the time frame was a little, compacted, but I feel like I did the best that I could with what I was dealt. It was time constrained, so I would have liked to had more time to put more effort into building, relationships, but it just didn't fall that way.
Does anybody else feel like it could have worked out differently had they been given more time to strategize and communicate as a tribe? I see a shaking of the head of Ashley, and then a yes, an agreement, and then a no in Beth. So, Beth, you don't think time really matters in this specific vote?
I mean, I'm pretty set. I think it didn't take much. That's all I got.
Okay, and what about you, Ashley? You think that if there was a little bit more time that, hey, I'm all ears? Because sort of what you touched on earlier, like if you would give more time, there would have been if there was an opportunity to sell red under the river, if it wasn't looking good, you might have capitalized on it. But because there was only, 6 hours, X amount of hours, that didn't happen.
It was, we had this amount of time and we had to work what we had. And so it's not like things could have formed or anything like that. It was talk to people and try to figure out what's going on. And if you don't know, then you don't know.
Do you think the decision you're making tonight, if you had more time, do you think that would it be changed at all, or would it just further solidify, hey, that's why I knew I was making my decision 12 hours ago?
Probably not now because I've thought about it for just personally, but maybe it would have changed. But for right now, it's like my mind is set on this is what I'm doing. Specifically.
Red.
Sandy.
Tribe switch happens. Laura gets last licks. You are put on the new Yuan tribe. Pretty much get old tribe mates taken away. All these new tribe mates. What's your initial reaction?
My initial reaction, was sad because we had a tribe that wasn't filled with any drama, so that was, very nice, whereas I know their tribe dealt with a lot with DeMonica and Simon, but I was also excited to get to work with and speak with these 3 people in particular, were people from the get-go that I wanted to get to know, so it's truly been a pleasure over the past, whatever 6 hours to get to chat with all of them.
So, Tribe Switch happens. Your immediate reaction's done, over with. First course of action isn't the usual, hey, I'm so-and-so, I'm so-and-so, let's build a hut, let's make a fire. No, it's, hi, I'm Red, we got to go to Tribal Council. Don't vote me out. Who do you want to vote? What is your first course of action to make sure I'm not snuffing your torch?
I mean, it really does have to come down to the relationships. I mean, you don't want to come off as too eager right away, because then that could paint a target on your back. So you really have to go into it. You do have to introduce yourself. You have to feel people out and, just kind of hope for the best. I mean, I am on a tribe where it's just 2 Yuan members. So, it is a 50-50 shot of one of us going tonight. So all I can hope is that the people that I spoke to and, choose to keep me.
What are you basing your vote on after everything's that's happened in terms of the conversations you've had and everything that you've been able to consider, your strategy, other people's strategy, everything? What are you basing your vote on now that it's all about to be said and done?
I'm basing my vote tonight on trying to keep the calm in this game, trying to keep the, I don't want to say nice people because everybody's nice, but I want to, make sure that all the people who should be here are here.
So is this based off of just, okay. With that answer, again, I'm not going to assume it's Ashley, as you might already have known her, and I feel like since we've already established Yuan was a tight, strong 5, and with those negative descriptions, I can only assume it's one of these newer people that you don't know as well.
I wouldn't sell Ashley down the river at this point. Even like she said, given 6 hours, that would be really cruel of me to go jump down the river. I mean, I know it's pretty obvious that it could be me or her, and if that's what the decision is, that's what the decision is. Had there been more time, yes, maybe I would have sold her down the river too.
So if you're not voting out Ashley, you're voting with Ashley, what's your strategy? What'd you do? Did you try to pull one of these Yuan members over? Did you grab the king and say, hey, king, save our ass, we need you?
I didn't necessarily say I was voting with Ashley. I just said that I wouldn't vote her out.
All right. Minus that first little bit, what did you do when you got to camp? You realize you're voting. Do you go do you go to the ties that bind and the devil and your old tribe mate Ashley and be like, hey, we're in the minority, we need to pull somebody over. This is a vote of 6 here. Or do you go to the king?
I mean, that was definitely a thought, but it did seem like the 3 Josian members were pretty tight. So, I mean, I talked to them, saw what I could find out, saw if there's any way that I could save myself. But in the end, 6 hours, there's only so much that you can deduce from that, so I can't tell you if that, worked or not. I guess, we'll see if I'm still standing tomorrow.
Michael, Red said something about it'd be cruel of him to turn on Ashley. Would it be coming from a tight 5 of Yuan? Would it be cruel of you or Beth to turn on each other or Joshi? Coming from not so tight of a tribe?
When anybody turns on anybody.
I'm also getting a vibe. A lot of you feel like if there was more time given, maybe something could have changed. This tribal council didn't have to be live. I'm just letting you guys know. I don't want anybody to feel like, fuck, I didn't have enough time. Like, we could have just I could have pressed post on the fucking. I literally had one question for Josh.
From my experience, I mean, anything can happen at any minute. So it could have happened. Something could have changed. Whether there was
more time, less time. Exactly. It's like a catch-22 either way, right?
Left.
Yeah. All right. So I just wanted to get that off my chest because it could have been 24. I had one question to type up for Josh. He could have pressed post, and then you guys had your way. But again, catch 22. If you have less time, maybe that's better because then you can solidify your plan and get it over with. Whereas if that plan is set in place in 6 hours and you have 24, that plan could fall apart, right? So
You could overthink it.
yeah, Dennis, the one person not going anywhere tonight.
Yay.
So you are aware that you've made day 19, and you still are the king. As the days pass, do you feel the building pressure at all?
Yes, because like each day we go by, it makes me realize how close we are to day 33. I mean, at any time, at any moment, except for this tribal, you know, like my king cherry position could be, you know, popped, and someone could try to battle me for it. So that's always a thought in the back of my mind. But you know.
Now, do you think it's the relationships you've been able to form on the Yuan tribe? Because you've backed them in every challenge, and every time they've actually ended up losing, you've not been popped. Your title has not been come for. So do you give credit to your social skills in the game, or maybe more so fear of the players? They're like their fear in just maybe your position, losing their vote, or is it like you're good with all the people, so they don't want to, you know?
I feel definitely as if it's the role and the responsibilities as the king cherry, because, like you said, risking your vote this early in the game could be the downfall of your game. Plus, like, you know, people, like, they don't want to risk it if, you know, they're not confident, especially in, like, this kind of setting. You know, barely get time to talk to anyone or, you know, stuff like that. So it's not because of my social game, not because I backed up Yuan. I just think it's because it's too early in the game.
So do you expect that at the right time later in the game, you're going to be battled and you're going to have to defend this title? It's just a matter of time.
100%, for sure. It's probably going to be before day 33, or it might be on day 33. Either way, I'm ready to fight.
Now, you didn't play in the actual immunity challenge portion. You played in the switch portion. So you're able to influence what had happened in terms of, because you were like in the middle of the board or whatever. So you had some say throughout the challenge as to what these tribes could potentially look like. Otherwise, you've not played in a challenge whatsoever. Now coming on to this tribe, no challenge that you had to back. So you're here literally pretty much as a spectator. This is a new tribe. You're the king. You're watching over everybody. Have these 5 players used you the way you think a king should be used in this game? Or how you're used to being used in this game up until now?
No, because if I was a player and I seen a twist as big as this, an extra number, and I didn't approach that extra number to try to get them on my side, I see that as a waste of like a vote, because really no one has talked to me asking how am I voting, what am I doing. They'll ask around, but they won't talk to me one-on-one, and I just think that's crazy, because I could be the number that goes with you or ends your game.
Are you talking about in general at tribal councils, or specifically for this one?
With this one, because in the past, like, of course people have talked to me because they wanted to get my number, which I'm surprised I haven't got it this time. I mean, I guess it's just because of the timing. I mean, I don't know.
Now, 3 old Joseon, 2 old Yuan, you are a vital vote. You could make the vote. If tribal lines 4-2, you could tie it up. Or it could, be 5-1 if somebody sells another, if 2 people sell Joseon, another Joseon down the river. If one of the old Yuan throws another one down the river, do you feel who in this tribe do you feel has missed an opportunity?
Pretty much everyone except for one person, because my vote is based off of who that one person has talked to me about and we've discussed, because that's the only person that's actually talked to me going after a move. Because I'm not saying I'm going this side because of numbers. Because no matter what I do, it's either going to tie it up or I'm going to be in the majority. So I'm basically good either way. So my vote is based off of that one person, what they said, because I have no idea what the fuck else to do because no one has talked to me.
Does that concern anybody? That shouldn't be concerning one of you, but it should be concerning 4 other of you.
It is concerning because it could honestly be the nail in the coffin for me or Red if
Certainly could.
if we're one of the people. So
if he said one of you guys approached him, which now I'm not saying it's you or Red, it could be one of you, it could be neither of you. And if it's the, quote unquote, if Dennis's vote could be the nail in the coffin, why the heck has nobody approached Dennis? If he could be the nail in the coffin tonight for either of you, because guess what? You can't vote him out. Does anybody want to take the floor before we get to the vote? This is your last chance. It's time to vote. When I call your name, please message me one-on-one on Skype. I need the name of the person you are voting out of this game. Dennis, you're up first. All right, I'm still big on screen share. I mean, I'm big screen recording right now, so once I call all of you, yeah, Dennis, you're big screen right now. Once I get all your votes, I will then look at them. So like as you're voting, I'm not looking at my Skype. My messages are hidden. Red, you're up.
My turn. I gotta find you here now.
Michael. Ashley. Josh. And Beth. Once the votes are read, the decision is final. Person voted out will be asked to leave the tribal council area immediately. First vote. Ashley. Second vote. Michael. Third vote. Michael. We're tied. 2 votes for Ashley. 2 votes for Michael. Two votes for Ashley. Last vote. The 6th person voted out of iSurvivor, Cheju. Michael.
Michael, you know I was loyal to you, so I had no idea that was going on.
It's alright, guys. It's just a game. Play hard. Take out the Monica and Simon. Good luck, everybody.
Sorry, Michael.
It's okay.
Michael.
Holy shit.
The tribe
Michael.
has spoken.
So now I have like no allies in this game and 12 people that hate me. I don't know what I did.
You didn't do anything, Josh. It had nothing to do with you.
What's going on?
You can hear me, which means you're still in the game. Congratulations.
I'm still in the game, but I'm totally going
There are 4 of you left on New Yuan. Guys, Russian roulette was not in your favor because you are on the smaller tribe. You just went to tribal council. And now you have a challenge coming up that if you lose, guess what? You're coming back here. And then you're going to be a tribe of 3. Nobody knows what's ahead of this game. And in a tribal phase, a tribe of 3? That's never a cute look. So with that being said, I know you guys have not had a long time to get to know each other and work together, but your first challenge as a tribe will be do or die. You can head back to camp.